Hey guys, we're live. Kind of technical difficulties. This is our quick fix. So we'll just wait for people to kind of switch over. Sorry. Why do I always forget our passwords? Trust me, this is Anime Super Chat. I swear to God it is. Make sure you tell, Carlos, great, perfect, my moderator. Tell everybody in the other chat to come to this chat because the other one's not going to work at the moment, so technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Just tell them to switch back over here. Then this is what we're doing Anime Super Chat off my phone with 50% battery. Yes, ooh. So we'll keep it short. I'm going to try to set everything up for Watch Tower while we're talking about shitty, terrible animes that are a mistake. So that is the topic. That's what we're doing. So... introductions, bro. This is weird. Yes, we're on mobile, but we're still live streaming.
But we're still live streaming. So this is it. We make sure that we get you guys what you need, which is live streaming, anime, chat, super chat.
Super chat.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I guess that's the best way to do it. And I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of hard to introduce yourself. You don't know what to say. Holla at your boy. It's Daniel, a.k.a. Gap Tooth Warrior, a.k.a. Battlestar Galactica. And to my left is the ever incomparable man, myth, the legend. Now, if you're ever thinking that you want to know someone named Ernie, you have to make sure that you go on a freaking journey. And that's what this guy is right here. I love it. I introduce you like a wrestler.
Yes.
I do it. I bring it up.
I'm the journey. And welcome, guys. Chat's going to be slow since we're on mobile.
Yeah.
And, yeah, there we go. You should be able to see it here also. And we'll try to keep this short. But, yes, our title for this one, from mobile. It is a great experiment, though, because since we're doing it mobile, we're trying to do... I've talked about this. I really want to go to a ramen shop and have
that's how we do it then. You're a genius.
And mobile stream on it, just like this. And the thing is, I didn't bring the tripod today, but I have a phone tripod, which is perfect. That's true. And so I really want to, I actually really want to do this for next week.
Okay.
But we're going to talk about it. But yes, we're going to do a mobile, and today's topic is terrible anime.
Yeah.
And, there's no such thing as terrible anime. You guys were tricked. There's no such thing as terrible anime. They're just different tastes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not true. That's not true. There are some anime that just should not be in existence. And the thing is, you don't know what they are because there's a reason why.
Yeah,
there's a reason why. There's some really terrible. There you go, right there.
Actually, Anna,
Boku no Pico. Stay the fuck away from that one.
Actually, Anna,
that's not even. Actually, that's not terrible either. It's not terrible. It's just
Carlos is wrong. There is no wrong thing about Church of Ernie. Wherever Ernie is, that's the Church of Ernie. So it's everywhere, guys. It's everywhere.
Following.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are some that we don't speak of, and you probably don't know of because they're so terrible they don't really get around. Because a lot of animes you find out through word of mouth, especially out here in America. Because in Japan they're serialized, or like they go on there's commercials of them. You don't really see commercials out here because that's all on streaming and based off of what's on the internet. So all the shitty anime don't usually ever make it on there. And there you go. We're gonna start off with that.
Woo,
and I'm gonna let my boy here tear into that one because that is a good definition of what terrible anime is. And take it away. Tell us about this Jaden Smith American anime.
I don't it's an American anime, but still an anime at the same time, which is weird to me because what they did, they hired almost a broke production company to go ahead and do everything as far as the art and everything else. So they said, we don't care how much money you're giving us, $10, sure. And they just went ahead and did it. It was horrible. The art is bad. The story is horrible. You have to endure how many episodes? I don't even remember, but it's shit. It is pure unbridled I took burnt hair, sprinkled it on top of shit, and then after that what I chose to do was take more shit on top of that and then say, hey, are you hungry? Because that's what they did with Netflix. They just took Netflix money and ran. I think that's what happened. Okay. It's a leftover.
Now tell us, from your first impression of seeing a commercial or the trailer or whatever of this anime, is what made you believe it's shit?
The art, immediately right off the mat. Then,
but the thing is, there's a thing about art. Sometimes and this is when it comes back to what I mean about
yeah.
there's no real shitty anime because it's more about taste.
Yeah.
There's some animes that are really shittily drawn, but in return, it has the great storyline. So I assumed, hey, you know what? Art style looks kind of stupid, lame, but it might be able to make it up with story plot. It looks stupid, but what do I know? So getting past of how it looks.
Okay, all right. Getting into just
what
further.
Else? Go a little further into what this anime is.
What they did, they tried to do a weird thing of, I guess, lowest common denominator fan service, in a way where they were like, no, that's why it's not just fan service, it's lowest common denominator fan service, where you're like,
so
oh hey, do you like do you like a mech? Oh, here's a mech. He flies around on a mech. Oh, do you like people with superpowered blah blah supernaturally somehow? Here's an unexplained ability that he has, and this is what he'll do with it. Do you like people that solve crimes? Sure, here he is doing that too. Oh, what else do you like? Oh, do you like some kind of hip hop themed kind of? Oh, sure, that's on here now. What else do you guys like?
How hard were they trying?
They tried so hard. They were like, who needs a dick sucking? I'm here, and they were ready for it. They opened up and they were just ready to go. And all of these things are in this anime. The only problem with the fact that it's all in this anime is that it's all in this anime. It is that bad, guys. I don't think there is one thing that's redeemable about this anime, except Jesus and Mero. I'm a big fan. Now, if you guys don't know who Jesus and Mero is, it's if you ever seen Vice, it's these two guys from Brooklyn that are just like, they were radio personalities, and then they became bigger and bigger and bigger. They're hilarious. You've probably seen a lot of their sketches or skits on Facebook. Somebody may just post one or whatever like that. But they are very funny. A Puerto Rican and a Dominican, and they come together in a great way. And that's what happens in Brooklyn anyway. That's pretty much what always happens. But they are hilarious, and they were on this anime. If you heard the very urban sounding characters on it, that's who they were. They were probably the only bit of bright light in this whole anime. A lot of people said that. They're like, oh man, I don't know who those guys were, but they were hilarious. That was the only thing I liked about this. Everything else was really stupid. And even at moments, they were stupid themselves. Like, people thought that. And I can't disagree with it more than that. And I will say, it was shit. I mean, it's Jalen. Pretty much, somebody said, "Hey, let's take Jalen Smith's freaking Twitter account and make it an anime where it's incoherent, it's babble, it makes no sense. Nothing is circular. Nothing makes sense at all in it. If you're looking for a plot, congratulations, you're not really finding one." That's what they did.
So from what I heard is that this anime was supposed to be good. Like, they were built. It was.
Sorry, I think Jalen. Thinking about Jalen Glover. I'm sorry, man. You're the man. They
were building something to be great. They were building this anime to be great. But the thing is, it's like building a cake. They tossed in, some vanilla, some chocolate, some ice cream into the batter. But the thing is, you don't make cake with ice cream. That comes after.
Yes.
And that's what they're trying. They're trying to make this epic cake by throwing everything in the bowl first before even doing it in a specific order. It seems like they just threw everything in the beginning, and they're like, oh, we're going to do great stuff. Here's all the stuff we're going to do. I was like, yeah, why don't you just introduce most of this stuff later? Look at One Piece. We didn't get all the team together right away. No, you got one, then another. Another. And each one had its own arc, and like that built up perfectly all the way up, even to the boat they had. They started off with a crummy little boat, and then they got into another boat, and then that boat went away and it burned down, and they cried, and everybody got cried. It was emotional, and then they got an even epic boat that has it can fly. It has a rocket in the back.
Okay, all right.
So I mean, it's all you got to build up to something that's it's ridiculous, but you build up to it so that you tolerate it. I mean, so that's what went wrong with this one. And as I was saying, there are terrible animes, but it comes down to taste.
And Daryl says, well, the voice artists, despite being famous, were awful. Yeah. So, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, if they suck, they suck.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's exactly what's happening. They were shitty. And I agree with you, Daryl. Thank you for at least bringing that out. But the thing is, so now it's confirmed that, hey, big names can't carry an anime. They can show up and people be like, ooh, I'm interested.
But what has Jaden Smith ever done that's...
He's been Jaden Smith. That's it. Congratulations! I came out of my dad's hoo-hoo in my mom's Wawa.
All I know about Jaden Smith is that he's spoiled as shit because of his father being famous.
He wore a Batman suit,
and he wore a Batman suit
to Kanye West's wedding. Who goes to Kanye West's wedding anyway?
His dad paid to get a movie made where they're both in there as the main characters, and that movie was shit. And then also,
apparently, it was like a Scientology film.
And then also, like, he became this huge pothead. He was trying to become Shia LaBeouf after Shia LaBeouf was amazingly epic at being an awesome stoner. And then Jaden Smith tried doing that and saying, no, I'm enlightened. I was like, no, you're fucking spoiled.
Oh
it's like you're... God. And he's not a real celebrity. It's
no. In fact, hold on.
Stick Scarlett Johansson in anime and I will watch the fuck out of that. And I will be like, I don't give a shit if it sucks. That's Scarlett Johansson. And you know what? She's an angel.
Didn't you kind of get that already?
With what
movie?
The live action?
Yeah,
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't you get that already?
Got her in a bodysuit, which was really nice.
Well, it's pretty much a live action anime, right?
Yeah. I didn't watch it. You didn't watch it. I was supposed to watch it, and that was the same weekend that I was supposed to watch it. Was Myra's wedding. That's why I was supposed to go watch it, but instead, me and Eddie, he was the DJ at the wedding. Him and me were supposed to go watch the movie, and then we were like, "Fuck it, do you just want to get drunk and wait for the wedding?" And we were like, "Yeah, let's go get drunk." So we bought a bunch of 6-packs, went back to Myra's, and just got drunk.
I like that. Okay.
Instead of watching Ghost in the Shell.
That makes sense.
Instead of watching Ghost in the Shell. Now, when it comes to taste, when it comes to terrible anime, so a lot of people don't like One Piece, and they say it's terrible, the anime, because they don't like the animation style, they couldn't get into it. Right. They say it sucks, but One Piece is one of the greatest manga.
Okay, so what justifies people to say that it sucks? Where does this come from? Even if you disagree with it, where does it come from?
Some people are very visual, and that's the reason why they watch anime. Right. And because it's a visual representation, they don't want to read it. Yeah, they don't want to read it. And so they want to watch it. They're very visual. And the thing is, they can't get into the art style in the beginning. And the thing is, it improves later on. But in the beginning, it's a little hard to jump into. And that's their main excuse. They're like, it looks weird. I'm not used to this type of anime style.
Really? So that's the problem? Like, they don't like that? What is the anime style called? Is there a name for it or no?
I just don't know if anime has. There's a style to anime. Like
I thought there was
there's I don't think there's an actual names. There's genres, but to anime, but I don't think there's a name to styles. Like there's and it comes because of animation styles. I don't think it has a name. Daryl will probably know this, and not me. I know in anime there's in manga, there's different styles, and we usually define them with romance. Usually has a specific style of art with bigger eyes, lightly drawn, and that's usually like girl romance novels are drawn that way specifically. That's how we know, but that doesn't have a name. One Piece, just the way it was drawn, that's just his specific style of drawing. Okay. And the thing is, he was very young when he started it, and he's a lot older now, Injiro Oda, and he's gotten so much better since then.
So it started in 97?
97.
Serious?
Yeah, the manga.
My God, it's still going.
It's still going.
So,
and it's gonna keep going for another 20 years.
So Bleach was the longest, but it's over, and now One Piece is the longest, or what's the longest?
No, Bleach is not long. When it comes to manga, the longest running one is either the boxing one. No.
Yeah, okay.
I think that might be the second longest. I think the longest running one is Detective Conan. I think Detective Conan. Yeah, I think that's the longest running manga right now.
Wow,
I think
that's insane.
Yeah, it's either one of those. But One Piece is up there. It's been going on from the longest. Yeah, Hajime no Ippo.
There you go.
But One Piece has been going on for the longest. So, and the animes started. It's a lot older too. So, the animation style improves a whole lot. But it's just in the beginning, and also it's an intimidation factor of that they're at 400, 500 episodes. Actually, 600, I think.
too.
I think they're in 600 episodes. So like they hear how many episodes they gotta watch, and they're like, oh fuck, I don't want to watch that because that's going to take me forever to catch up.
I don't get that, but people love binging now. That's a big thing. So, congratulations. You have a whole series that takes you roughly a year to binge. And that would be all you're watching. I don't understand what's wrong with that.
It's commitment.
I'm a guy that okay.
People have commitment issues.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
It's commitment issues. That's what it is. God. So people are scared of commitment. So right? Okay, and I know this. I'm scared of commitment.
But people complain about the art. But yet I've seen One Piece, and there is amazing art.
It gets better,
dude. The hockey, like itself, like there is so many, like just. When it envelops a character, and they're like,
that's the thing.
That shit is amazing.
Hockey happens way later too. In the beginning, it's devil fruits. It's all about the devil fruits.
Oh yeah, the devil fruits. Okay.
And also the concept that a lot of people think the devil fruit thing is stupid. And that our main character is a rubber man that can stretch. They're like, wow, that's like the most lamest power ever, being an elastic man. And being an elastic is such a lame power, and they're like, but then again, look
what he does.
Have you seen him like the Incredibles?
Yeah,
the Invisible Girl is awesome.
No, grab that. Pay attention to Mr. Fantastic. Like, I'm not talking about the movies. I mean, read the comics or an animated series.
A lot of people.
Mr. Fantastic is effing dope,
but a lot of people find that such a lame power, and they're like, why does the main character
time to really think about it?
And they're like, a lot of people are, why is the main character going to have such a lame power of stretching? Well, you have other people who can control fire, ice, or like split body parts.
That's the great thing about it.
And they think the powers are ridiculous, but I'm saying they do it in such a way where it's like, it's clever. You would never realize that a guy made out of rubber, what he can do with it.
Yeah.
Because he's made out of rubber, he forces his body to pump blood even faster, which a regular person's veins will burst. But because his veins are made out of rubber, he pumps his blood even faster, which makes him expel heat and also go in supersonic speed.
Oh,
so
word.
He speeds up and so much faster because his blood is rushing so fast, and he heats up too, and like he does Gatling punches. Like it's amazing how he takes advantage of his body of such a power and like really boosts it up to be better than what it's supposed to be. It's
oh my god.
It's great, but a lot of people just can't get into it. And they think, and that's when people get into that. When we get into that subject of something being terrible or something being great, it's about taste,
right?
And also another argument a lot of people go through, which I do it all the time too. It's Dragon Ball GT.
Well,
now that one's split in half too.
Okay.
A lot of people think it's shit, and a lot of people think it's great.
Okay.
I fall in the middle where I'm like, it's not the best, but it's not the worst.
Right.
I don't believe. I just as long as you know that it's non-canon. It's not canon. It's non-canon.
Making it if it's not canon. Like I don't get it.
When it first came out, it was supposed to come out as kind of like
hold on, whoa,
it's a different production thing.
Let's pause for a moment. Daryl just said GT is better than Super. He's proud of it. I said it.
He's actually not 100% wrong.
Okay. Gentlemen, explain to me why. Because all I've heard my entire life, which is very short apparently, that GT is the worst thing to happen to Dragon Ball.
You have to
in its entirety.
And that's what you have to understand when I mean about about something being terrible and something being great.
Super Saiyan nipples?
And that's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother subject.
Okay, all right.
That's a whole nother subject. But the thing is, GT, it was kind of like it wasn't the same creators.
Okay.
It was different people. So a lot of people said it's a fan like after part to it. It's non-canon. Later on, the I think they said that it was canon. That like the main creators were like, yeah, sure, fuck it, let's call it canon. We're not gonna do anything with Dragon Ball. Then later on, they came back with Resurrection F and
that's what
and Battle of the Gods, and they were like, okay, so we're gonna have to remaster the whole entire universe. Movies, they are now non-canon. GT, sorry, you were non-canon. We made you canon. Now we're making you non-canon again. But who gives a shit? You get the fuck out of the way because we're making our own stuff.
And Super came. Well, and the thing is, they, from what I understood, when they did Resurrection, and it was like, oh, okay, this worked out well. They did the other one after, and when they were like, man, okay, we're really getting money for this. We can actually fund this. Let's go ahead and do Super.
Yeah,
and then that's how it happened.
So the argument when it comes to Daryl saying that right now GT's better than Super, he's not 100% wrong.
He says Super is too fan fictiony.
It's. So Super is
how dare you?
In a border
they
right
had
now.
A tournament where people had to cook or eat or something, and right, didn't that happen? Or was that in GT? Or what happened where people had to eat or something? There was something about food. No, I know on Super. Well, there was what's his name who was obsessed with like eating food. The cat god.
Oh,
did you not watch it?
Yeah, I do watch it. You're talking about Beerus.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with food, but it doesn't mean. So
swear,
that's the thing about Super.
Like some tournament.
So here's the thing.
Before they had the fight tournament, it was a tournament about food.
Here's the thing about Super. So in the beginning of Super, it was basically the movies, and then the movies they remade him into Super so they can make him their own way. And they're like, we're basically watching the movies all over again, but now they're making the movies instead of 2 hours long, it's like 3 weeks long. They grabbed the movies and made them even longer because they put them into episodes. And after that, and then after that, the arcs that they're doing were really terrible. A lot of people hated the Goku Black arc, and a lot of people liked it. There was the one where Future Trunks comes back, and a lot of people hated that one. They're saying that was the most terrible one. That's when like people were like, just I'm done with Super, because basically they're fighting an enemy, and whenever they fuck up, hey, we got a time machine. Let's go back in time.
Oh.
Do it again. We lost. Let's go back in time. And they keep fucking up and they keep going back in time, and they're like, why don't you just go farther back and just completely eliminate the whole thing from starting?
Yeah.
But in the end, so a lot of people got fed up. But right now, it's in big debate because this new arc that's going on between the Battle of the Universes, a lot of people fucking love it. They're like, wow, we have so many new characters. People are battling each other. It's all hold bars, tournament to the death. It's like all these universes are getting together. We got Frieza back, and he's an anti-good guy.
An anti-hero?
An anti-hero in a way. And they have like people fighting again that you would never expect to fight again, like Master Roshi. And so they're like, we love this new arc. This is amazing. It's like Super is a shit. It's better than everything else because we love this thing. Oh, we're getting a new form. We're getting a new Super Saiyan form. And that's what got me out of interested in watching it again, because now I'm like, wow, okay, didn't we just get Saiyan God mode? And then we just got Super Saiyan Blue. And then on top of that, we got Super Saiyan Blue plus Kaioken. And didn't we just get Super Saiyan Kaioken God mode? And with the fusion, and then now we're getting another one called Super Saiyan Instinct. And I'm like, you guys are just, I'm like, you guys are just burning through transformations now. And I'm like, it's gay, because now at least when GT did it, they were like, okay, you remember Super Saiyan 1, you remember 2, you remember 3, guess what, 4, and that's all we're giving you 4. But you want a little bit more, I understand, but we're not going to give you a number of the Super Saiyan. We're going to give you a Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. And then fuse them, and there you go. Everything, and we'll just go off of that. But what made GT so awesome, in my opinion, was that they grabbed Dragon Ball Z, and they grabbed Dragon Ball and smashed it together. Because the thing is, Dragon Ball was completely different. It was kind of like a kid's show, growing of age, adventure with the kiddie adventure, and then that was Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball Z was more of an they're all grown up. Now it's all fighting. It's more intense.
Yeah, it became something completely different.
Completely lost his whole adventure nostalgia.
It became something completely different, because when you watch Dragon Ball,
it grew up.
There wasn't a show where it was like, oh, we're always fighting, blah blah blah. No, it was Goku trying to figure out who he was, what he was, and then finding out like all the other things, and then finally we had the moment with the moon, and then when they cut off his tail, I like all of that. I remember all of that.
So Dragon Ball grew with its audience, and so what GT did was like, hey, you guys remember Dragon Ball? How much you loved having a young, small, cute little Goku? Well, you know what? We're gonna bring that small Goku back. Same Goku, just in a kid body. Yeah, you're gonna have to get past the point that he's an adult brain inside the kid's younger. Body. And then just to add a fun factor, we'll throw his granddaughter into it, and they're gonna go on to an adventure. And then from there, it grabs stuff from Dragon Ball Z and then adds that element later on. And they're like, hey, so we have a cool little nice mixture between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and that was GT basically.
Wait, so
that's why people loved it so much.
GT came before or after?
GT was after Dragon Ball Z. It happened a couple years after Dragon Ball
so
Z.
it happened after Z. So they take what you love from pretty much what you love from Dragon Ball,
which is
Dragon
the whole
Ball
adventure,
Z,
the whole adventure thing with the kids,
right.
the funny quirkiness, and then all the fighting and intense like enemies from Z and smash it together with Super Saiyan forms.
So then, why do people hate it then?
Because they couldn't get past the idea that Goku is now a kid again, and a lot of people hate his granddaughter because she's annoying and like she's a bratty little girl, and I'm like, hey, well, look at her lineage. Look at her, look at her parents, and look at her granddad. It's like they're annoying little fucks, and she's an annoying little fuck too. But you know what? Right. It's like, look at her family. It's like that's just the way she's gonna be. But in the end, she's brave, just like him. She's funny, just like Gohan, and like it works. It was very close to the original story. Plus, they brought back the whole tail thing. Which in the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z,
they do that?
The original creator of Dragon Ball forgot to continue drawing tails. That's why they got rid of the whole thing about having tails.
Having tails.
He forgot to draw them, and that's why they took the tails out of the Saiyans.
I thought all the tails were gone anyway because now every Saiyan is like a hybrid. You're not really a full Saiyan. You're a Saiyan human.
When Gohan was born, he had a tail, and he's a hybrid. So why didn't Trunks and Goten have a tail if Gohan had a tail?
Oh.
Because he just forgot to draw it. That's
so then
the only reason.
It just kept going.
So GT brought the whole idea of the tail back. And that's what Super Saiyan 4 was, because it involved the tail.
Right.
They brought back something that the original creator forgot about.
Wow.
So that's why I think it's amazing. And Super is still it's convoluted crap.
Wow, so GT really was from fans.
Like, we love
this. We love this. You forgot about that. Oh my god! Like it's like a super fan.
They corrected.
In the animation cell in 45, I haven't noticed that you forgot the tail, and we should put that tail back on. So let's put that tail back on. It's gonna be great. I think that's where it should go.
Like that kind of guy. Wow. Oh my god!
But the thing is, it wasn't terrible. The fights were pretty good. I mean, the enemies were overpowered, but hey, that's basically Dragon Ball, where the enemies are overpowered and they have to reach up to get rid of him.
Well, yeah, they have to dig deep and then reach up. Yeah, that's it.
So you see, Darrow is not completely wrong. It's like GT. It's all about taste at that point.
Okay,
it's all about taste. But the thing is, you have to give it a shot in the beginning. You have to give everything a shot. You have to give GT a shot because a lot of people are like, oh, I hate the whole kitty thing. I like hard fights. Well, watch it, get past the first arc where they're kids and going on an adventure like Dragon Ball, and then get to the part where they're doing Super Saiyan 4, and then you'll get your Dragon Ball Z back.
Jeez.
And here's another great anime, which I actually read it first. It's called Hitman Reborn. Now, when I read this manga, literally the first 67 chapters, complete, utter, stupid shit. It was horrible. Now this is the thing. My roommate's like, hey, you need to read Hitman Reborn. It's amazing. It's epic. It's great. Just gonna warn you, you're gonna have to get past the first chapters.
The
first 67 chapters. He said you need to get past this. It's gonna be torture. But as soon as you get past it, yes.
Well, why would I want to endure 67 chapters? How long is a chapter?
Well, the chapter, it's a common, like weekly serialized, so each chapter is like about 20 pages, which is not that bad as compared to Naruto and Bleach and everything else. Yeah.
Why would I want to do that?
Okay, so.
It has to be really good, so tell me why.
He told me, he begged me, he's like, dude, get past these chapters and I guarantee you will get gold.
Okay.
It literally, you are digging through concrete and dirt and a rat infested like nest that you have to kill all these rats and then keep digging until you strike oil, and that oil gets you like clean that shit off and it gets you rich. Now, it started off super terrible. It was supposed to be a comedy. It was supposed to be funny, kiddie. Basically, it's about a kid who some baby shows up and shoots him in the head with a magic bullet that makes him go crazy and basically bring out his inner personality that he hides, because he's a very timid, shy kid with problems at school. And so this kid, this baby is supposed to be a hitman, a professional hitman from this family, and he was sent there to be his tutor. Shoots him in the head with a bullet. It sounds stupid, and the thing is, it's straight up stupid. It was hard to understand. You're like, this makes no utter sense. Each episode is just basically shenanigans, and that baby keeps shooting him in the head and putting him into predicaments that he has to try to get out of. He has a girl he has a crush on. He keeps getting embarrassed because every time he gets shot in the head, he somehow bursts out of the top of his head completely naked except for his boxers, and there's like fire coming out of his forehead where he got shot, and basically when he gets over it, he's still naked in his boxers, and he keeps bumping into the girl he has a crush on. So it's just straight shenanigans, and I'm like, this is hard. At 30 chapters in, I go to my roommate and I'm like, dude, why the fuck would you get me to read this? I can't. This is stupid. And he's like, dude, I know, but just you're halfway there. Just keep pushing. Just think about the number 67. It's like, trust me, you're gonna get there. And as you get closer to 67, the actual art's gonna get better, and the story is going to change dramatically. You know what I mean? So, absolutely dramatic.
Okay, so what you're explaining to me or describing seems like an opium-induced fever dream. Yes. That somehow gets better because someone gives you medicine.
Yeah.
Now, when we say someone gives you medicine, who was the person that made the change for that manga? Like, who were the catalysts that said, all right, yeah, well, now they bought the production company, or there's new writers, or what happened? Do you know what happened that made the change?
The thing is, the change was so dramatic, and it turned into something that I never expected, that I never asked. I'm pretty sure the reason is that as the manga kept going, like, its fan base was gaining a weird fan base, but it was doing really terribly, that they realized that this can't go on. It's like a lot of people hate it, and we want to make something out of it. We want it to be a popular manga, so let's grab what we built, and make something out of it. Because they threw a lot of elements in there that was kind of interesting, but then also stupid. They're like, okay, we have this weird baby in a suit who's an assassin. He's a mobster assassin. Okay, let's do something about that. We have this protagonist with a girl he has a crush on, and he's supposed to be the next boss of this mafia. So let's do something with it. Okay. Now, we have this school, and then we have these other families. What's in the mafia? Mafias fight other families, all right? Just bring another family into the mix. Okay. And, we have some friends. We have, you know what? This kid needs partners. He needs a family of his own because he's going to start his own mafia. Then let's start introducing more characters. All right, so how do we transition what we have built into something else? One bad guy. You bring in one bad guy out of nowhere to fuck everything up. And then there you go. You have your story change. Guy shows up, starts fucking everything up, and then I think kidnaps the girl he has a crush on, and that's when Baby Assassin's like, hey, we're done playing around. I gotta teach you how to be a mobster boss. I need to teach you how to fight. I need to teach you how to use your powers.
So why was the baby mobster hitman shooting him in the first place?
These bullets were basically, of course, magic bullet, and it's supposed to take out his hidden ability, his hidden potential, because he is part of the Vangola family, which is it's the strongest mob family in the world.
Okay.
And he's part of that family, and he's actually supposed to be the next heir to take over the family. So he has potential locked away in him. He's actually a descendant.
And that magic bullet was supposed
it was bringing
reveal it.
And it was
bring it to the
supposed
forefront.
Supposed to reveal it and actually let him get over his psychological fear of just everything. And like it does a very dramatic turn, and they do the same thing during the anime. So during the anime, like the first few episodes, crap, it's hard to get through, but then out of nowhere, there's a twist, there's a turn, and then it becomes something else.
And when it becomes something else, was it steady? Was it consistent? Was it always good?
It dramatically got better and better and better. Because you would think, oh, it's about a group of mobsters and different families and they're fighting each other, but they bring this element about rings. Each ring has this power, this flame, this ability, and then they get equipment that goes with their rings.
Yeah, of course.
And then they get hidden abilities. They create a family. They create a family, and each family has like 7 or 8 people that fill in a chair.
Right.
And then there's another family that does the same thing, and those two family collides. There's a time skip episode. There's an episode, the arc, and then there's another arc where they go back in time. Now
wow.
Yes.
Okay.
You would think it's dumb. They're like, oh fuck, they're gonna go back in time. They're doing the time traveling thing.
Well,
but
no,
it's okay.
They
it's
traveled
good.
forward. Now they're traveling back. So that's good. It's not like
They do it in a good way. They did a good job with the time travel.
Okay. See, I can dig that because that's why I was like, oh, okay, all right.
And then when you thought, you're like, okay, we just got past the time traveling thing, and we know where this is going. We know he's gonna eventually become the boss and take over the Vangola family. And they're like, what else is left? And I was like, oh, we're about to end this. So we're going to give you one more arc. And we're going to give you the arc that you guys have been asking for in the beginning.
Which is?
The Arcabaleno arc. Arcabaleno are basically the assassins, which were the babies.
The babies, right.
The thing is, they never tell you why they're babies and why they're assassins, why they're hitmen,
why they have magic bullets. Why?
Yes, they don't tell you.
Give us all of that
until the last arc. They tell you everything, and
that's a cold move right there. I like it.
And then they unlock. They basically each baby. Because it's all about numbers. It's 7 families, 7 chairs, 7 assassins.
Right.
So each assassin baby goes and gathers a family to represent them in the Arcabaleno Wars.
Well, 7 is the number of completion, so that makes sense.
So 7 families go at it. And it's so epic.
And a baby represents each family?
At some point, yes.
Okay.
It gets better.
Right.
It does a whole entire turn and turns into this epic thing.
Wow.
So you grab something that you think it's terrible and give it a shot, and it turns better.
So then what's the point? Why give me 67 chapters or 8 episodes of something to be bad at first? It's like, okay, I get it. You're going to be like, yeah, now you really like it. But what if I never chose to stay around because 1, 2, and 3 were bad?
Well, think about it. You're starting off making something that you don't know where it's going to go. You start off with a camera. You are a geek. You go to conventions and you wish you can talk to a celebrity. So what do? You grab a camera and you start interviewing cosplayers. You start interviewing con attendees. And guess what? You're starting to get people that actually are interested in what you're doing. You have friends that are interested in what you're doing. And then you realize, you know what? I think I can do something about this. We're getting shitty views on YouTube. Then let's do something about it. Let's get more people together. Let's grab what we've done so far and build upon it. Then you find your niche.
Sounds familiar.
You find your niche. And from that niche, you get fans. And then from there, it bursts into something else and it grows into something bigger. And that's basically it. And that's what happened with
the hashtag show. You're right.
Yeah. Hashtag show and Hitman, and same thing with Hitman Reborn. It started off, they wanted to do a comedy. They wanted to do a fun, something about a funny shenanigans with a baby assassin and this main character. And this baby assassin giving this main character hell with his life. And they're like, you know what? We have something here. We're not doing as great as we want to, then let's build something different out of what we put here. And that's when they're like, let's make this into an action anime. Let's make this like Naruto, Bleach, but our own way. Assassins, fire, magic, bullets, and guns.
And this
goes into something else.
And this truly does point to what you started off with, which is everyone says like, oh, okay, this anime is shitty, this anime is shitty, but it depends on your level of taste. What you consider shitty, other people may say, well, this is a masterpiece, and this is why. Yeah. And I get it. So ultimately, it comes full circle. So then, should I watch the Jaden Smith anime again, or is that just shitty?
This is my rule. You can't talk shit about something unless you personally watch it yourself to be able to talk shit about it. I didn't talk shit about the Ninja Turtle movie until I went out, I watched it, and I was like, okay. I watched it. I knew it was going to be shit. You know what? I was right. Now I can talk all the shit I want. Same thing with the new Ghostbusters movie. I didn't talk shit about it until I watched it, and then I talked shit about it. But the thing is, don't talk shit about something unless you've actually watched it and you can, if you can...
They were good.
We're not gonna get into this. We're not gonna get into this. We're not gonna get into this.
Dude,
we're not gonna get into this. We're not gonna get into this.
Was bad because of Bebop and Rocksteady.
It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Sarah's about to show up and she's gonna start yelling at us. Now you can't get into this. But either way, look, anime. It's all about. I gotta read that. Talk shit about Ernie all the time. Well, fuck you, Darren.
That's true, and then you give him a second chance. That's right. That makes sense.
So anime is all about taste and what you're into.
Right.
I'm not. The older ones were good. Not the new ones. Not the new ones. Nope. Out.
This guy over here, guys.
It's all about taste. It's all about taste. Don't say something shitty unless you watch it and then you can talk shit about it. I don't ever talk shit about something unless I've actually watched it and have a real opinion to back it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
Don't be that type of person.
All right. So yeah, don't guys.
So it's all about taste. Yeah. Give everything a shot, and once you watch it, But there are some that you should stay away from. And like example, well, actually, some people actually think Boku no Pico has some kind of substance behind it. It's weird as fuck though.
Right. Well, okay. It's not the boxing one, right?
No. Boku no Pico is about a hermaphrodite. A chick with a dick.
What about the anime where the guy like falls in love with his like sister or something? She writes the porn stuff or something. She writes or she does erotic stuff, and then later she's underage too, and it becomes really weird. That's a bad one.
No, it's not. Believe it or not, it's an anime about incest. Yes, it's an anime about incest. But the thing is, the story behind it, it's actually pretty touching, and the animation is really good. It's called Doraemon. That's for sure. The main thing. It's actually really pretty. And the thing is, and the way it ends too, it's like you're like, yeah, that's how it should end. It only makes sense. I'm not happy about that ending.
With the old dog or whatever
Huh?
It's like old dog where ultimately that guy finds out. You haven't seen
Old Dog, yes.
And then Old Dog, where it's like he finds out ultimately Old Boy, and he finds
Korean
out and then he
finds out that
you're like oh god,
and he doesn't
his daughter,
and he doesn't tell her.
Yeah.
No, this one is different. It's more like
incest all over the place on that movie.
I can't talk. I don't want to spoil it, but the way it ends, it's good. It's mature.
Off the thing,
off the camera. I'll tell you, and I can't spoil it on here because actually you think it's dumb. One about incest, and we're like, no, it's about your sister. Don't get into it because originally he wasn't even in love with his sister. She's the one that was in love with him secretly.
Yeah, secretly. But then after that, when he found out that she was the one that was giving him the art that he was writing the stuff for, then it was like, wait, what? Right? Wasn't that the whole thing? Because he writes like a kind of like an erotic kind of tale thing, she provided him art. I thought it's something along the lines.
Something along the lines.
I always get these wrong.
Yeah, you're close. It's something like that. She was into erotic manga and stuff like that, and he would help her buy it because she was too embarrassed, and also he was her scapegoat.
Okay, all right.
And but yeah, there's more behind it, but it's not as terrible as you think. It's in the story he had. It was actually really good. Because the thing is, like, her friends actually fall in love with him.
Yeah, I've heard that. All of a sudden, then she starts bringing a stable around for him to be like, it's really weird. Well, guys, I've learned today that I need to give a lot of anime a chance before I just say, hey, it's bad anime. That was the point, and I am learning that. And now, because you're telling me there's more, I may actually watch an incest anime. So, I mean, hey, we've learned something today, guys.
There's a list out there of some anime that are, they haven't seen the light of day, and most people don't know about them because they're so terrible that you'll probably never run into it. And like, there's one called Pupa, which I never seen, but it's weird. I think literally it starts with the protagonist being the female protagonist being raped by the male protagonist.
Oh yeah, and then he's like a super spy or something.
And then he saves her, and then they end up together.
Okay, I've heard about this.
And then there's a lot of terrible animation, terrible voice acting, terrible, and like those are so bad that the thing is you'll probably never hear of them. It's don't even worry about it unless you literally go look for these animes. You'll find him. It's kind of like just pretend they're the snuff films of smut films of anime. It's
snuff.
You'll never see him unless you actually go looking for him. And like, here's a good example too. Ghost Stories was the one that me and Daryl talked about before. In Japan, it was terrible. It was horrible, and they brought it over to America, and the studio that was gonna dub it was like, "Wow, this is crap. They did crap in Japan. It's gonna be crap here. What should we do? Let's tell the actors to do their own dub it their way." And so they literally dubbed it their own way, completely changed the story, did basically the YouTube videos where they dub anime and they do their own spin-off. Right? So they did their own spin-off of Ghost Stories, and it was so good that they grabbed the script, sent it back to Japan, and they redubbed their own anime. Okay. In Japanese, because they like the American dub. So, but that's what Daryl told me.
Again, what I'm learning is that apparently, hey guys, anime can be really good even when you think it's really bad, but you gotta give it a chance. Give it a chance, you'll never know.
Give them fair reign.
So, I mean, that makes sense. Yep. I've learned something today here.
You gotta give everything a chance. It's like even the same thing goes with TV shows.
So, I mean, ultimately, tonight I'll be watching an incest anime. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I gotta tell you how it ends.
Yeah. Still an incest anime. But yeah, that's what I'll be watching tonight, guys.
Alright, so we should start ending it because Sarah's here and she gave us the stink eye.
Yeah. I'm going to try to eat whatever she has in her bag. Yeah. That's not an incest joke.
Alright, we're going to try to do Watchtower next. I'm having issues with this computer. I'm trying to fix them in the next 30 minutes, which I don't know if that's going to happen. And there's... Yeah, but thanks for joining us in the mobile one. The next one, I think it's most likely gonna be our food episode. We're gonna see what happens next week. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll let you know
what we're gonna do.
It's gonna be
what's next week? We might do food anime.
We may do a food anime. You guys will find out. Trust me, you'll find out. The advertisements for it will be everywhere.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Or we might do something else. But we might do food anime.
We may do food.
Yeah.
So with that, I guess, where can people find you?
You can find me on social media as _journey. I'm currently on Twitch streaming. I was streaming all week, and I'm going to be streaming next week. I got my hands on the new Wolfenstein 2, so I'm going to be playing that next week. So join me on Twitch on _journey. And what about you?
You can find me on Tuesdays on the Halloween horror show that we do here, Rocky, the hashtag horror picture show. Wednesdays you can find me on Gingerdale. On Thursdays you can find me here and on Watchtower. And on Saturdays I may show up every once in a while for Hessian Hangout and Power Rangers. So I do a lot and I'm a great guy, so please follow me. Anyway, Battlestar Galactica, that's where you can find me, except on Twitter where it's that hashtag BSG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and sorry that we couldn't get into the chat. It's hard to do it through. It looks like we had a troll on the chat.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. Fuck you, BB.
Yeah, who the hell is BB?
I don't know who that is, but they were fucking talking shit in there.
Master Union. Wow. Jeez.
And the thing is, we don't have a moderator right now because I can't do it through mobile.
Listen to the Master Union. Who's? Wow.
I don't know.
Does BB mean bareback because you just like it and is that what's going on?
You're like in bareback.
Yeah, I'm thinking like bareback in the butt.
Let's all start doing this. Let's all start doing. We'll make him cry. We're gonna make him cry. We'll see you guys and watch that.